Hello? Test one, two, test one, two. Figured I'd just hit the stream button. No one's going to be here immediately, but hello, you from the future. There's a potential it's me from the future, but I haven't been watching my own streams lately. I want to work on some complexity stuff today. If anyone does come to chat, maybe we'll have some cool conversations about the complexity, add some lore. I have logos for a number of characters, but I have many more characters. They don't have logos, so I wanted to go ahead and get some work done on that. I'm just gonna check YouTube, make sure that I'm getting through here. Dun, 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 dun. All right, I have a go live thing. YouTube, make sure that I'm getting. Yep, that's me. All right. I'm just gonna get this on a side monitor. Do I still have Inkscape installed? I do. So I need to gather my old logos. Logic. Huh. Shame. Wow, where did I put my... Oh, is something about my search broken? Oh, it's searching audio for some reason. Okay. Logic, SVG. Most recently in Theta logos. Right, okay, so here's what I have. And I may need to edit these. We'll take a look. Cal got his name changed, but Cal is retired. Poor Cal, not really. Cool logo. So I guess I get to just have that. Guess Cal gets to live on with a logo and a mask. Canvas, default. Dark, yeah, dude. If we open something that already exists, might help us get the formatting. So, where is this? A Theta logos. What's Felicity look like? Should be. Oh, I think I remember. Oh, hello, Mind Magic. Hi. I don't recognize you, but you might recognize me. Forgot I have my webcam on. Hi there. Just hanging out. It's almost 10 a.m. here. I woke up at like 7, which is very exciting for me. Wow, this is really condensed into the square. I don't know how I feel about this logo. I don't know. Can I? I'm gonna have to like do some learning live, which is fine, because you and I we're just hanging out. We're just having a good time. I want to expand this horribly intrusive bubble here. Layer. Because I'm looking for like an image tag, but SVGs aren't quite images. So I don't know if they can theoretically even have like a formatted length and width properties. Oh, okay, here we go. Pixels. Let's just do 1,000 by 1,000. Make my life a little easier. Is that too much? Well, if I do them all 1,000 by 1,000, then I can just fix all of them today. You don't remember? Oh! Oh, shit! You made my fan art, right? Wait. Oh my god, I have to go to my Discord. I'm just remembering all of a sudden. I want to make sure so that I'm not just like gushing for no reason. Um, yeah, I miss you. I feel like I wanted to get in touch. Um, oh, where's my Discord? I drew this. Share art, maybe. Yeah. Oh my god, I love this image so much. I've had it as my Discord profile ever since you made it. I love this image so much. I can't thank you enough. This is my favorite thing. I've thought about like contacting you to like commission some other stuff because I just love this like this art style and it's just so cute. And I got my hot cocoa. Um, it's so cool that that video kind of hit a certain popularity. Uh, so whether or not anything else happens, I want to give you bottom of my heart thank you. Um, this is genuinely super kind and makes me kind of want to cry. It means the world to me. I love this so much. Um, I want to feature this in like something at some point. You know, I want to flash this. So if you have like I don't know an Instagram or like Twitter handles, hit me up. Um, because I'd love to follow you and share this stuff with the world. It makes me so happy. Um, yeah, I should kind of focus on what I'm doing, but thank you so much. No, thank you. I love it. It's like it's good too. I remember like talking to my friends, like talking to River. I'm like, it's not just fan art. Like it's actually, it happens to be good fan art. And they kind of agree. It's like yeah, it could have been whatever. And I'd be like, oh, wow, thanks. That's cool. But like, I actually think I think it's a good image. The shading is great. Um, yeah. Anyway, sorry, it got me all smiling and blushing and stuff. um, yeah. Oh my gosh, I got a little shakes. Right. All right. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Let's get rid of these eye looking things. I'm cool with the circles, but Felicity has become very renowned for the wreath that she has. Um, I don't want to go full Mickey Mouse here. So kind of like maybe just some like Olympian circles would be just fine. Um, I don't know. Do you interlock them or no? Because that's kind of basic. I guess you would need like a fourth circle, right? To like tie the wreath together. Oh, okay. I think I know. Because we can do a bigger one. It's kind of like centered. And then these are, we can actually make all these smaller like pieces of a wreath. And then just like distribute these. I'm going to have to like practice my ability to align and format things. That's going to take some that's going to take some thinking. Object. I'd love to draw something for you now that I have time. Yeah. I have some like I have my mask and stuff that's it's hanging up there. But I think it'd be really cool because I was thinking of like, you know, I think about like album art sometimes because there's like, there's just me. It's just like a casual dude, just like hanging out. Oh no, that's cool, dude. I wouldn't have noticed that you don't speak English. So you're doing a great job as an English speaker. You're doing great. um, because I got this. I understand the camera is really bright, but this is my um kind of spooky voodoo looking Omen the Protector mask. Um, so kind of like a side by side would be super cool. So I can like message you on Discord or something, um, and maybe you have some ideas or something. I'd Venmo you like a couple bucks or something as a thank you because it's very cool. Um, yeah, so I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up. I'm glad you got back in touch. Yeah, I 3D printed it like years ago. Um, I think I must have the file somewhere. Maybe OP mask. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. This search everything program is so useful. Oh, jeez. This is a 3D printing program. My 3D printer's been dead for who knows how long. But it's a quick way to open up a video file, I guess. Come on, Kira. I got things to do, places to be. I should have the Blender file somewhere, but it's gonna actually try to slice that. Yeah. But yeah, it's got the strings and everything. And there's no mouth, so this is probably muddled and unlistenable. But that was always kind of the thing because it was only until pretty late that I started adding like some lyrics to some songs. And I think they're kind of questionable. Um, my last series of moments is just they're tragically bad. They're so bad. Um, but I'm trying to make a comeback to music. I have some ideas. I have like a couple different MIDI instruments, and I'd love to try and like one man band, do something that's totally different. So, simplify path effects. I mean, I do have these. I guess I have these lines at the top. It's not perfect, but start. Put that at 75. 150. That's like, or what is that? 175, 50. Oh, jeez. Oh, gosh. I have no idea what I'm doing. Maybe I'll come back and touch them up later. But, because I want to be able to, draw these in the moment. If I'm just, casually hanging around with other people, what if I put them on the inside? That'd be easier to do. Because an inverted wreath, that actually sounds kind of cool, doesn't it? Oh, I'm sure I've seen this symbol elsewhere. Yeah, it's not bad. I'm not rewriting history with this or anything, but I think it's better than the weird amalgamation of rings I had before. Yeah, yeah. Let's go ahead and save that. I think that's fine. And let's just take a look at the rest of these. And I think I'm back down to 19. I had 20 characters for a second, and then I dropped off for a second. So let me see. Story, the complexity, alpha, nuance, lambda. Yeah, because the nuance is still the latest edition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And with Cal being gone. Yeah, we're down to 19, like 19 and a half, because theta. Well, if I include theta, we can get back up to 20. So let's include theta. I'll even make a channel just to have them. Because being at a round number is just so satisfying. Interest I like. Interest I think is good. Yeah, very satisfying with this kind of. Because interest is like classical half and half cyborg. Just get a little bit more of a satisfying eye shape or something going. But then this also kind of looks like, you know, the letter I, kinda, sorta. Maybe line this up a little bit better. Oh no, but this carries on like a nice angle. So would you shorten it? No, that looks terrible. So we'll leave it like that. Cal, retired, and the logo's fine. Logic, I need to remember how much I like it. Because it needs a little bit more flair. Because it's like an L, and it's like a right angle. And in geometry, you usually draw right angles with like a square. That kind of signifies, hey, this is a right angle. But having an O for logic as a circle seems kind of entertaining. Oh, didn't want to do that. There we go. So I think it's a little bit more visible if we make it a bit smaller. That's like decreasing the stroke size, which is annoying. Where do I adjust that? Oh, there we go. I can set it. 3.69. Haha. Very funny. Very funny, Mitchell. Hilarious. Can I use your music in a video? You make videos? Whoa. Oh man, you really gotta send me your socials. Yeah, 100%. I love sharing my music. I take it as a massive compliment, like a huge, massive intergalactic compliment. If someone wants to use my music for something mysterious, that's an adjective that I really appreciate. Um, so by all means, uh, giving credit is generally appreciated. But at the very least, I just want to see what you make. So send whatever you make to me, just so I can see it, just so I can check it out, and we can, you know, all share. Post in the Discord, um, share the love. Yeah, I'd love that. Is this like your YouTube channel? Because if I follow you as a user, make animations with a team of friends. Oh, that's so cool. Animate like collectively? Do you guys like work on the same project, or you make different things? I gotta. Pinning is weird. Um, Yeah, no, that's cool. Post yeah, post a link in the or whatever in the chats that I can click on something because YouTube is being difficult. Um, or post in the Discord. That's really cool because I've wanted to do more animating, and part of the reason why I'm updating all these logos is so that I can actually render them out in Blender. Because another project that I'm like working on, which I can also kind of flex and work on today, because I got a thing in like 4 hours, so I got time to kill. Um, I just want to do complexity stuff today. So in the complexity, there's like this meeting area where everyone sits. Uh, so if there's all these chairs, right? And I think it'd be cool to like customize the chairs at some point, but I'd love to have, little like signs almost, so that, above a character, I love that I still remember how to use Blender. Man, I first used Blender fucking so many years ago. And then like above each character they could have like a little square with a logo on it, because when I animate, a lot of these characters have very detailed appearances. Like, can I post a link in your Discord? Yes, please do. Please post a link in Discord. um do it in one of the like the sharing channels or something. um Share your art, share your videos, something like that, uh so that I can get tabs on it. Very interested in the lore. There's so much lore, and I need to make more YouTube videos about this. Like, this is where I need to channel my creativity, because the complexity is like my soul. Um, but all of my expression through like music and stuff is super vague and non-specific. Um, so I think it's time to, shed some light on the complexity and really get into it. So I, got to write some more stuff down. Almost like make a little Dungeons and Dragons universe out of it. Um, Man, there's so much to do. There's so much in my head, and there's so little out there, and it's a tough thing. When you make something creative and you put it out there, that's such a personal thing to do, to really open yourself up to the world, to make yourself vulnerable and allow yourself to take criticism, because criticism of the complexity, if I identify myself personally with the complexity, that's like that would be like criticism of me. Some artists are able to kind of separate themselves, and that's intrinsically not how this works for me. Mercy, I think, looks good. That's that's accurate to Mercy. There's Mercy's mask has a ton more shards and stuff. I have a Blender short that covers this a little bit better. Um, but that's a fine logo. That doesn't need adjusting. Man, the more I come back to this image and look at it, the more it bothers me. It's not really centered. There has to be a way to just quickly object. There has to be a way. There has to be a way to align and distribute. Aha. Aha, aha, aha. There we go. Gorgeous. This is exactly what I wanted. I'm so happy. I'm violently happy right now. Um, I don't know if I get the spacing perfectly on those. That's that's good enough. Unless it's not. My gosh, it's just off enough that my human brain is able to notice. Doesn't work for some reason. Ah, what did I do? Let's see, you're on your phone. I don't know if that makes a difference. Because because I have a My Stuff channel where I think permissions are limited, but there's a group of discords that are like share your music, share your videos, share your art. That's where you had posted your um your fan art, which is just such a fun thing to say. Um, and Tal had posted a cool little collaboration of characters that he has. Um, so you should be able to post there. I should make sure that the creators have like the right permissions. Yo, what up, River? If you want to hang out in Discord something, you can hit me up. We can chat and stuff. But if you're just vibing, that's cool. I'm just working on the logos for my complexity. I want to do more complexity stuff. So that's what I'm here for. Taking a 5-year break from drawing. Whoa, I just saw your Discord thing. A 5-year break? Whoa. Doesn't let me post it. Can you message me personally? And I can at least post it. I imagine that should work while I figure out permissions. I know I'm all over the place, but that's fine because it's just about working on this as a whole, not doing one thing specifically. Monetization? Ew, gross. Members. Roles. Edit. Fiverr breaks the joke. Oh, thank God. Torn and listening to Go Trek and Felix just stop by to dab on him. Well, you successfully dabbed on him, River. You did the thing. You did what you set out to do. You dabbed on him. Match channels. Oh yeah. I don't. For some reason, creators don't have send message. What? Why? Well, I'm fixing that now. Create threads. Sure. Embed links. Attach files. React. Emojis. Stickers. Create polls. Sure. Making sure I get everything. Okay, see if that works. That would be really weird if that hasn't been working before. I don't know why that would have changed. Maybe I had that on like citizens only. Because let's see, what does Colin have? Oh, creator and visitors. Weird. Dab. I love dabbing in real life. Here, let me give a good one for the stream. Dab. This still looks messed up. That's good enough. I gotta walk away. I gotta be willing to walk away. Mercy. Well, Ohm we know. Ohm we know. Ohm is good. Shame desperately needs something new. This weird squiggly disaster is that's just bad. Um, because shame and Gamma have just paired up to make Theseus. But I don't really want to say Theseus is like a single character. I think that's a little obtuse. Yeah, they're kind of just like a squad, like Trek Squad, the Validation Squad. So Theseus can just be Theseus. It still doesn't work. Man, can you post it in chat? I'm so sorry. This is so weird. I don't know why this wouldn't work. I'll put you. Let me make you a citizen too. Just because you're that cool. Yeah, see if you can message me personally or post it in YouTube chat. I'll try and figure out this Discord thing when I can. That's really odd. Shame. I feel like I came up with some ideas for shame before. Because an S is obvious. So maybe we can experiment with that to start. Just a good old classic S. We need to make the font size like a billion times higher. Discord hates me. Hell yeah. Discord. Hell yeah. I love it when Discord just ruins everything. Oh, too big? Maybe too big. Let's see if there's a cool font. Maybe that can give shame a little spice and everything nice. Come up with some ideas. Because I've thought about like the infinity symbol, putting a cross through it. That's kind of cool, but there's more of the castle gothic, like twinges on the end, but something about because shame is kind of in this state of like perpetually looking away. Um, oh, so a backwards S wouldn't be a terrible idea because that's the inversion, right? Just some wingding fonts, okay. Yeah, so let's pick an S that we like and just chaotically flip it. These edges they're kind of cool. But I did like the one that kind of looked like yeah, this kind of like inverted infinity. I think that's kind of cool, actually. $250. Let's get a nice meaty font in here. And then just yeet. Just flip it. Yeah? Yeah, I don't hate that. I think that's good. What are the logos for? Um, so the complexity, right? If we think about it in this big old meeting area, might be the first time I say it on the channel. So the complexity is essentially a city slash village inhabited by a series of characters that represent different um, emotions, characteristics, personality traits, ideals, and they represent in very different ways. So, out of the 20 characters, because I may not be able to like draw them perfectly every single time, I want like quick ways to represent them in an animation, right? So, if you think of theoretically, one of my little 2D cartoon type animations, I could have two stick figures talking to each other because that's really straightforward and easy to draw, and then put a logo of, hey, this is Ohm, right above his character, and then say Ohm is talking to Shame, right above Shame, I could do this backwards S logo. So very quick and easy way to identify different characters and the complexity. Um, because yeah, I may not be skilled enough to just go all the time. Yeah, yeah, we're up to 20, and let's see. This started uh like junior year of high school. So I was around 18. I'm 24 now. So 6 years. It's grown over 6 years. It started with just Ohm, then the Protector, and then honestly, it's hard to remember the order. Like I know rough ideas, because then I think like Wit and Logic cascaded out at the same time. Mercy happened. Um, as different events in my life, and I had different, needs and thoughts, the kind of, I might think, oh, I like this group dynamic, but it's kind of missing something, or there's some characteristics that are underrepresented. And the genesis of a character is just a bam, immediate thing. And I think, okay, you know, I need to somehow represent just a perfectly, logical organism, just that stone cold wisdom. That's that's no bullshit. That just is honest. It will tell you what it is. And then just in my mind, just all of a sudden I can see it. Or just this big classic 80s cartoon looking robot just just look at me in the face. And when I need a name, the name just kind of summons itself. I like whatever snap decision. I don't like to think, ooh, what would be the perfect name, which is why a lot of the characters are very simply named because it's just what came to mind. So Logic is Logic. He's a big old robot dude, you know, speakers for eyes, microphone for a mouth, because it's kind of inverted, which is kind of funny. And he's logical. I know. Shocking. So yeah, yeah. In Discord, I wonder if I've talked with the locals even like visible to everyone, just because it's just so massive. Um, yeah, it doesn't look like it's set specifically. There's stuff that people specifically can't do. But it's not private, so yeah, yeah, it's all there. A few people have chimed in, so yeah, I guess it should work. Yeah, exciting times. Sounds like something to watch a 5-hour video. You know, I could, if I really like dedicated it, put a month of effort into something, I could just give the whole epigenesis, the whole complexity, the documentary. Now, that would be cool. That's a project that I can think about and never do because that sounds like so much work. And my creative capacities like come and go. That's why, I'll just do nothing for several months and then show up out of nowhere. Oh, Tears logo, I love. I love that. It's kind of teardrop shape. Because Tears Genesis is just like this kind of spindly, young character in
endless ocean surrounded by absolutely nothing, just in a little life raft. So a teardrop in kind of this underscore shape like waves in the sea. That's perfect. That's ideal. The host is great because that's like an H, but the host is two characters. That's technically only one character. So having this like double faced line is perfect. The music guy, that's a little it's kind of complicated for a logo. Like drawing out all three of these knobs probably get annoying. So I think it might be better to simplify it into just one. That way it's still, you know, easy to do, still recognizable as, maybe like a MIDI controller. Make it bigger or something. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fine. I kind of don't mind the smaller size. That's what she said. Yeah, I don't know how it works. It's cutting out detail, but I think it's for the best. Because once you overcomplicate logos, then when you have to draw them every time, you're like, trudging through the mud. Isn't it so fun spending a year on one video? I mean, it could be. It could be so much fun spending a year on one video. I have a reputation of spending like, you know, an hour on a song and then throwing it into a video generation thing and uploading it and then walking away for a month. But I'm trying to build. I'm trying to build motivation. I'm trying to get some momentum going. Logos cool. Look cool, by the way. Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, wit's good. That's creative. WIT. It's fine. So we can move on to making some new ones. So we've the protector, wit, logic, mercy, interest, tear, shame, the host, Cal, and then I think that's kind of where it breaks off. So let's make some new logos. So I'm going to save this just as a different one and then edit it. Dialect, king of the complexity. Who's the most humble king you'll ever know? I think a crown or something would be fitting, but not like an annoying crown. Because dialect is this like epitome of almost like therapeutic wisdom, like just almost obsessively balanced, and not trying to be too hard on any specific situation, like always taking some gentler approach if possible. So this like aggressive kingly shape wouldn't really be fitting when it's more of a humble situation. You do. Okay, I have a bit of an idea. Because he does just have this like circle face, and he's kind of floating. Um, do I remember how a pen tool works? Oh, geez, no, I don't want to make felt lines. Don't want to do that either. Yeah, it's going to take me a second. Path, object of path. Oh, yeah, I can make some stars. Hell yeah. Make some polygons. Hell yeah. Who doesn't love polygons? I don't remember how I did these before. Because it's been so long. It's been years since I worked on these. Because I can get like a rough idea. This kind of, you know, kingly shape thing, and then this kind of shroud body, I think would work just fine. But how do we turn this into a path that makes sense? Pen tool. Draw Bezier curves and straight lines. Yeah, no, that's what I want. Oh, there we go. But I don't want them to be filled. I guess I can go back and do that. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, I can then adjust these nodes, right? Posthumously or retroactively, I think is the term. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Progress. And then how do I... So 3 point... Was it 6.9? But then no fill. Come on. Work with me. There we go. No paint. Oh, look at that curve. Oh, that's gross. Oh, jeez. Can I disconnect a line? Can I break a line? No, not like that. What? Oh. Sorry, I'm just like super focused now. This is kind of complicated. Because I need this to be the corner. So this, there we go. I can just go straight up. I don't hate that by itself. It feels kind of like maybe a little too like priesthood. I don't know, kind of like nun vibe, whatever that means. And then so we'll just do crown. dashes. I think it's perfectly appropriate. It's not a great look to start, but that's why doing this as an SVG is so important. If I just like freehand drew these, they could look pretty decent, but then I would never be able to edit them, and they'd be kind of set in stone forever. And like I'm doing now, I may need to like, evolve them. Straighten lines, curve handles. This one is sharp and this one is not. Not totally sure how that works. And do I still have that distribute thing? Yes, I do. And then shrink it. I don't know. It's pretty cute. That more or less feels about right. It's not. Oh, it's just such a bad crown. That's just the worst crown. Maybe just a single. That's a little bit less nerdy. Because that's kind of like priesthood, right? Yeah, I'm getting these weird priest vibes. Man, I don't know. Do you even do the crown? Like, because I don't hate this. Maybe you just don't do the crown, you know? Maybe I'm just putting too much into it. Just gotta take a step back, let the logo speak for itself. Because I've already kind of talked about overcomplicating it is a slow and insidious killer, as they would say in Darkest Dungeon. 3.69. 3.69. And then just collectively expand that? Or, I don't know. That's fine. That's good. We have a lot. We have a lot of characters to go. So if we spend too much time on everything, we're gonna be here for a few years. So let's go back to Felicity and do the thing before, like save as new, reset to normal. So save as. Next in the list, making sure I'm not missing anyone. Let's do Respite. Sure, he's just next on the list, so we won't pick favorites. Now, Respite is a stick figure whose the top of his head is like a campfire basin. Another dab, thank you. Like a fire pit. Get some reference. Like a metallic one. Kinda, yeah, almost like a grill. Almost like a grill. Yeah, kind of this. uh, without the lid and stuff. Yeah, his head is literally on fire all the time. And he's the most chill character. He's just he just vibes. He's a place of respite. He's a place to calm down when everything else is blowing up, everything is crazy. You can go to respite and it's okay. It's okay. And that's one of those like characteristics, that was missing before, but we needed a place to relax, to go, to be easy, to come down. And that's what you got respite for. So, respite, let's see what we can do for you. Return the favor. Why does this feel. Why does my canvas feel tilted? Am I crazy? I'm suspicious. Can I just make a new. Yeah, I just feel like somehow that was rotated. It is. It is rotated. How does that even happen? Oh, oh, I see it. There we go. All right, we don't have to make a new document. It's a little rotational down there. 1 degree. 1 degree was enough for me to notice, to feel that it was just wrong. I think just a basin on fire. I mean, that's a pretty accurate representation. It is a basin on fire. Is exactly what it is. Like we talked about, no need to overcomplicate it. Doing a fire shape might be kind of complicated. Hate drawing fire. Yeah, like I used to like doodle fire a lot, and I learned this just like the color palette idea of like decreasing like energy intensity. So the bottom would be this shape or whatever. That's a terrible. Why do I keep doing this massive invert? And then inwards goes a little more red, a little more orange, a little yellow. I don't know. Terrible freehanding in paint. It's not my best look. But just kind of this vague squiggliness. Yeah. So again, the fact that it's an SVG makes just a lot of this so much simpler. Because I can take a line and then just obsessively re-edit it. Because otherwise I would draw it and erase it and draw it and erase it and draw it and erase it. And I would lose my mind. Do we do this? I think this should probably be a straight line, shouldn't it? this into just a straighten lines. Yeah. And expand these out to the edges. Not bad. We're coming along. Get a little more. Whoa. A little more. A little more curve. Nothing too oppressive. Kind of looks a little bit like a shark fin. But that's all right. It's a little tall. Yeah, I'm more or less content with that. I think that's fine. I don't think we need to overcomplicate it. Just let it flow. Remote moment. Just let it go. Respite. Done. Next. Save as. New. Who's next? Milo. Milo is, it's kind of like a shortened, weird version of melodrama, like melodramatic. And I don't know why they just have this. Because again, the image just shows up in my brain. You know, I don't over design these characters, so they have this like Christmas elf, like toy maker kind of look. Oh geez, these are so terrible. What's that? Is it the one where he doesn't want to be a dentist? Is that Rudolph? I don't know how you spell Rudolph. Yeah. Kinda like this kid, but like wearing green. That's a kind of demented looking version of it. Yeah. Yeah, Milo basically looks like this kid. This kid. Oh, jeez. What a strange village it is. We've got stick figures with heads on fire. We've got terrifying demons. We've got mannequins with electricity flowing through them. We've got Christmas elves. How? Oh, jeez. So how do you represent the idea of like overt dramaticism with a logo? Something grand but refined. Use our old friend Paint to just like really rough sketch some stuff. I have my tablet, but it's not plugged in. I don't know if I have the drivers installed. Such a fun place to live. It is. I can confirm it is a fun place to live. I would highly recommend it. That's why I think, because I like fully recommend it to people that like, I think a good number of people could benefit from having their own kind of version of a complexity that are kind of private, internalized, created inception of these characteristics and emotions in a way that different characteristics, parts of you can talk to other parts of you. You know, I can have the emotion of sadness personified, talk and communicate with the emotion of anger and rage and fear almost, and see how that dynamic evolves. You know, how does your sadness feel about your anger? Like sitting with that question. Because I've come to realize in my life a lot of times I will get angry because I'm sad, right? Like I don't want to be sad. Being sad is, annoying and it's frustrating and it's weak. So it's like, get mad instead, which I think is like a very common problem that people have. People will struggle with depression and then they'll lash out with anger. Um, and it's something that I was able to kind of personally discover just by letting the magic happen, just letting these kind of autonomously figure the sums out. Fish. There's a fish emoji. That's incredible. Can I copy and paste a fish emoji? There's no copy button. Oh, I see. You've got a little selection to choose from. There we go. Fish. The silly fish. I miss the fish. I miss like the cats and stuff. Man, yeah, I really miss them because I, eventually got around to moving out. So I did what I set out to do from that one video. I did move out, and I no longer have any pets, and I miss them. I miss them. Fish. So what does melodrama look like? Because I guess, I mean, hell, you could just do like the old, you know, the I don't even know what you call it. Kind of like jingle bell hat, the jester hat with only a single bell on it. Man, my freehand doodles are so terrible. Because I've always been able to, like, a really easy way to represent that hat with this just like simple fold. So it looks like it's kind of, sagging over itself. Something like that may not be too bad. Everything in life is temporary, but chocolate is. You got a bucket of chocolate on you? Have you found yourself a snack for the day? Or is this a Christmas chocolate reference? Just doing a single line. I wonder how much you could dilute that. Like this. That image of a hat. I mean, that kind of looks like a weird antenna thing. No, I think you just go for the whole thing. Yeah. Yeah, why not? Let's do the hat. Because a lot of these are kind of being personified in just like the shape of the head. Which, yeah, there's worse ways to go. So right there's that kind of default shape. We'll fix it up a little bit, make it pretty. Oh no, but because I have to like disconnect these lines. How do I disconnect two lines? I know I've seen that somewhere. Break path. Delete segment between. This is difficult. Okay, hold on. Let's try. Well, let's see if we can just draw that better in a way that. So, like, I guess that's is kind of what it looks like, right? I mean, I gotta go back and look at my paint reference image. Right. Okay. Let's kind of put this on like a second monitor so I can see it. Never thought I would actually need this as reference, but here we are. So let's do it this way. It goes down and up, and down and across. Okay. I feel like this is specifically not how you're supposed to use SVGs. But screw them, you know? Screw them. Terrible. Oh, they're cute. You know what? They are cute. Thank you. See, that's validation. Validation is so important. You can improve your social relationships so much if you just validate the people in your life. You know, if someone says they're struggling with something, like, yeah, no, that sounds like it could be difficult. You know, someone puts their heart and effort into something. Wow, that must have taken a lot of work and energy. It's really cool that you were able to do that. Oh my god, it's like it's magic, and I'm not saying that in like a manipulative way. I mean it like as a personal human being. It's so impactful. To humans crave validation. What's up, Jorts? How's it going? Little question mark, little unsurety. I'm making logos today. I thought about doing some music later, but right now we're just messing with the complexity. That whole, you know, when you look in the Discord and it's that big crazy list of characters, and I haven't given like a ton of context on what that really is. Whoa. We're gonna get there. Glad this kind of retained its like sharp edge. Yeah. And then, see, can I turn that? I'm having a tough time changing these from like sharp corners from these flat edges. If I right click on it, can I stroke style? Oh. Well, that's not quite because that's changing the whole thing. You can kind of get something if you move these lines, but that's not really what I want to occur. It's fine. Remember, it's just a logo. I need to get in the stew. I've been putting off working on music for a while. Yeah, man, music is hard, dude. You ever think about that? Like, making music's kind of difficult. Like, what a wild concept that you pull up this music software and you're just faced with a million buttons, and you've got all your VSTs and all your effects. You've got all these samples, and your brain immediately starts wiring in 500 different directions of all the things you could do. And then you just say, go. You just do it. You just do that. Like, excuse me? That's, you know, So I've been getting like basically just choice paralysis. You know, I start up a project and then I just get immediately frustrated because it's like I don't know what I'm doing. Like because I have so many options that I just end up making the same thing over and over. That's pretty good for Milo. Pretty good. Got that little bell on there. A little cotton ball, whatever. It works. Yeah, so then I just make the same song a million times. I pull up Synplant, find a chord that I like, do some 1-3-5 chord progression, move the timing a little bit so it's got a little bit of, this drunken syncopation thing going on. Slam some drums on it, find a melody, done. Easy to phone it in, but it's hard to deliberate. Wow. Just phone it in. Phone it in, but hard to deliberate. I don't know. I just like that sentence. Hard to phone it in, or it's easy to phone it in, but it's hard to deliberate. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm thinking with the constraints, right? Everyone loves referencing Star Wars and like, oh my gosh, in the original movies they didn't have CGI, so they had to do all these cool models and stuff, and it actually looks really good. I see people on the internet, right? They'll force themselves into a genre that they're not comfortable with. They'll make an entire track out of a 3 times oscillator and nothing else. So the kick has to be from a sine wave. The percussion's all from triangle waves and saw waves that have been filtered to no end. So yeah, be a fun way to kind of practice my MIDI instruments. And because I'm so unskilled when it comes to actual physical instrumentation, it'll feel more like a fun practice and less like I gotta make the next elite Spotify album. I have to conquer the world with how cool I am. No. No, I'm just a guy with a one-man band, a couple of MIDI instruments. I'm having a struggle though because I have a drum pad, but the MIDI delay on it is just like substantially worse than on my keyboard or on my fake guitar thing. And I don't know, it's like I can shorten my buffer size a little bit, but then I run out of ideas. Like there isn't software that comes with it. It just has a MIDI port cable, plug it into the drum set, plug it into your computer, hope for the best. So I don't know if I have to start looking at master syncs and clocks and stuff, but it's really disorienting to hit a snare drum and then, 50 milliseconds later, then it pops. That's just enough. And for percussion of all things, if you're trying to keep a beat and everything's exploding all the time, oh, geez, man. Anyway, stay on target, as they say. Who's next? Who's next in line? We got Milo. Got Felicity, Respite, 7. Oh, geez. So I don't know why 7's name is 7, because they have nothing to do with the number 7. That's rough. Yeah. It's probably just the drum pad, isn't it? Like, I may have to resort to just using the pads on my... Because I have the FL key. It's this thing that's, like, specifically made for FL Studio. So I might have to resort to just happen. And that's okay. When you work with just like a literal keyboard all day, when you're typing away, it's much more finger dexterity. It's going to take a lot of training for me to like get in the arms, using literal drumsticks to try and play drums. Like, I use these in middle school when I was part of a little percussion team, in band. Remember just generic the word band in school, and I was terrible. I was so bad. I couldn't read music. I couldn't read tempo information. I just, especially when they give you the like a xylophone, you know, and they expect you to actually like learn musical notation. Like I specifically joined percussion so I didn't have to learn musical notation, and then they screwed me by trying to educate me and give me a solid musical background. How dare they? Yeah, no, I was tragically bad, and I was pretty bad at playing the piano. I've kind of figured out how to kind of wing it on the piano just by knowing, you know, what a scale is, knowing where chords are and how they jump numbers. So I play more with music theory than I do with like physical skill. So everything's usually pretty slow and not complicated, but the notes usually aren't too bad. Okay, 7. 7. How do you want to do this? You can't talk. So, let's see if get some more reference images. Reading's been tough for you too. Memorization. I think the only song I ever really memorized was like Scarborough Fair, like Simon and Garfunkel style. Because my mom was trying to teach me piano, but she just gave me, you know, this child's book, you know, so I'm like 13 trying to live my best life, and I'm just playing uh you know, songs about bells and, you know, three mice, you know, Daisy went over to the candle tree and slapped it with a stick, whatever these inane, boring music is. And I was just so brain dead. I just didn't care. And I had to like grow up and start doing music on a computer to realize, oh, I do like music, just not that music, not crappy kids piano music. Because it had like illustrations and everything. It was for children, and I was more mature. I was more refined. But Scarborough Fair sounded cool. You know, it just had a 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 on the chords, and a nice little trills and flares in the right hand. Parsley, sage. Ah, so good, so good. Uh, Lightning inside tubes. Let's see if we can get more reference images. Yeah. Wow. I'm surprised by how well these images came up. I had to play piano in school and hated every second of it. Oh, they try to teach it in school. Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, and I understand why piano. And like piano's still kind of my preferred instrument because it's the default thing, you know, guitars, you know, the frets are technically just notes, yeah, but it's just this big anomalous string that you're kind of rough referencing and like doing these weird concoctions of finger positions. But a piano, you know, there's all the white notes, there's all the black notes. Here's a scale. The notes are right next to each other. It's two hands. Um, so it works, but yeah, it's just not for everyone. And I respect that they try to get you to, give it an effort. But yeah, if you don't like it, you don't like it. I love telling the story because they tried to teach us guitar in like 7th grade, and like the fifth string, that super thin wire, we were like playing so much that there was a girl in my class, and she was like getting cut by that wire because she was like such a fragile person and just playing the guitar over and over. She like shed blood on one of the guitar strings. It was horrifying. I don't know if that was something about the string of the guitar or just her, but yeah, yeah, that was no bueno. A light bulb might not be a bad idea. But that's a very classic. Yeah. Hmm. I like this shape, but I've kind of learned it's like you don't want to do too many inconsistent random lines in a logo. So there has to be some kind of purpose, some kind of consistency to lines. Just did a typical circle. You know, if you just like, look at it, it's all electric. That's not helpful for a logo. That's not intuitive. Hmm. I don't know. You could do. I guess you could do just like branching paths. That's a lot. That's a lot. If you're drawing this, it'd be super easy to kind of just mess that up. I mean, I could do 7 just because the name is 7, but that's honestly, I just think that's dumb. Because again, they have no relation to the number 7. Their name is just 7. You know, we just forget that it's a number. Oh, now it's just a cool sounding name. Cool. All right, we can all go home. These star things. Star's not too bad. Kind of remind me of like old stick figure games. Had these faces where it was just a cross. And we're all menacing and stuff. Have, you know, swords and guns and shit. Anyway, random tangent. How do you represent electricity in a logo without just doing that stupid symbol? I don't even. Yeah, like how do you do it without doing that? Actually, wait a second. Because look, there's like 2 7s that make up that lightning bolt. Hey, wait a minute. Wait, maybe we do use the number 7. Hold on. Because if you do 7 on a 7, and then a 7 on a 7, no, you can't do that twice. That doesn't really look like a lightning bolt then. Because a big part of it, yeah, is this little like tuck under. The 7 is so deep. You'd have to do it 1 7 and then a smaller 7. That's kind of hard to draw consistently. You know, a straight line is a little bit easier. But then that really doesn't look like lightning anymore. Oh man, that's tricky. Come on, chat. How do you draw 2 7s and make it look like electricity? Well, that's not bad. It's just really tight. I guess it's using that distance, right? It's so cheesy. Oh, can you stack more 7s? Yeah, I don't hate that. If you do a 7 3 times, you draw a straight line. And you got your big 7. You got a 7 that's half as big as that one. And you got a 7 that's half as big as that other 7. So it's 1/4 size. Da, 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 da. But yeah, I guess a little space like this is better. Okay. All right, we can do that. Should be pretty easy to draw, actually. So yeah, it's just this one goes a little bit farther. So we go all the way up. Well, time to fuss with it. I think we got the gist. Curve it a little bit. And just do, yeah, basically another 7, but this one's backwards. So it's just 7s everywhere. When I was like, hey, let's not use the number 7, all of a sudden, oops, it's all 7s. It's just 7ception. It's so overbearing. Man, this is harder than I thought. Because that's more like physically accurate. Like half, fourth. I don't know. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah, why not? What are you going to do? Stop me? No, I think that's fine. That's a cute logo. And it fits. That fits just fine. All right. Next. Let's keep chugging along. Let's do this. Let's get all 20. Let's just get it out of the way. Theta we'll do at some point. That's an easy one. Because theta's just an actual symbol. Who's next? Respite, Milo, 7, Gamma. Sure. Probably. Well, what is the Gamma symbol? Is it interesting? Does it fit? Because again, like Gamma's name is Gamma, but it's not necessarily inspired. That's like a capital. So Gamma is this kind of like older, mature looking gentleman. But like imagine, the king, in the gates to the city, and it's like the royal guard. It's the guy who's in the throne room but still protecting the king. Kind of ornamental but not too crazy, and then just a big old spear. I'm talking like straight out of Thor Loki spear. I know they have this fight, or I guess it's the one that Odin is using. Yeah, that one. It's kind of like half trident one, not that one. This one. Yeah, I think that's Odin's spear, right? Odin's spear. Yeah, just a dude carrying that thing. So he's this very guarding character, because there's a total of 3 guards. There's the protector, who protects the complexity from the outside world. There's Mercy. Mercy protects the complexity, protects characters from each other, so that there's no like interpersonal violence. And then there's Gamma, who protects the complexity from me. So, if I start changing things in a way that's negative, Gamma's like, yo, hold up. Let's not do that. Why don't you go take a break with Respite and leave this behind? So if I'm in a bad state of mind, I don't go and accidentally ruin something. So the spear's kind of cool, but man, that looks kind of hard to draw. Like as a logo, do you really want to go that all out? Gungir? Is Gungir? I guess that's just the name of the spear. That's just the name of the spear. Because it's like a trident, but it's tighter. We could do like a half and half. Like the left side looks like the spear, and then the other side just has this kind of like T shape, the capital gamma. That's tragic. That's terrible. Something like you got the spearhead, and then just boom. T. Yeah. Yeah, I don't hate it. No, it still has to be pointy for sure. Well, that just looks like a music note. That looks like an eighth note. Ah, it really looks like an eighth note. Gamma is not associated with music. We have the music guy for music. What is the smaller gamma? Is this weird, super artsy flail looking thing? And that's like annoying. I don't even know how. Oh, it does kind of look like the cross guard. Do like a really simplified version of it. Oh, that's kind of cool. I know it's not quite gamma, but it's not bad. It looks like this like circle is really tight. Yeah. Oh, that feels intuitively right. Strong intuition. Do I have to draw them as stickmen too, or are they allowed to have faces? Oh yeah, no, they can have faces. Yeah, no, they're fully like trying to actually give a good look of them. Like 17 out of 20 have faces, and they're more or less humanoid. I'd love to give them a kind of a more detailed draw at some point. But starting with logos feels healthy. So let's do gamma. I need paint to reference again. This is a great little working process. I was kind of wing it, but Google Images to paint to Inkscape. That works. So, little spearhead. Back down. I wonder if there's a way that I can just like make this symmetrical. Because otherwise it's gonna look it looks pretty bad. But having a little artful asymmetry, I don't think is a terrible thing to have. Right, and I forgot. Yeah, I can reduce nodes. So if we do I still have that distribute window? Align and distribute. Whoa. Why do I feel like that's not doing anything? Oh, there we go. So let's get all these centered. And we'll get, delete that one. Whoa. Just that one. Align these vertically. Inspiring you to draw something? Hell yeah. Get in there. Channel the creativity. All in. Oh, I think this one's cool as hell. Hell yeah. I like this one. Let's go, Gamma. Woo! Shout out to Gamma. Gamma was born when I went to a psych ward. Isn't that exciting? It's such a great origin story. There's so much context, but I'll just leave it with basically no context. Yeah, very cool. What you gonna draw? What you gonna draw, Mind Magic? I'd love to know what's the origin of Mind Magic. It's a cool name. I love names. I love names so much. That's why there's some character names that I really like. Everyone's equal, but character names, some character names I really like. Because like Ohm is a pun. Because when I started making music, I'm pretty sure I can still even look myself up this way. My name was Alpha Core, COR. Oh, not images, please, not images. I used to have a SoundCloud that came up. Guess it probably doesn't anymore. So because the whole Latin thing, I was the kid who was into Latin. Super obvious, I know. Kind of outdated. Or not outdated, but just common. So it's kind of like the Alpha Heart. COR is the heart, the soul. Which one of your characters have the coolest backstory? Oh man. Oh geez, that's a tough question. Backstory. Oh man. I'm thinking a tier. Like, I could look at a lot of them, and a lot of them are really nuanced. There's actually a character named Nuance, which is funny. So tier. Tier was born is one of the earlier ones, so must have been like late junior year of high school. And Tier is just that full representation of just deep, isolated, terrible depression. And so they just kind of floated in their life raft in the middle of just this expansive ocean with a permanent sunset. Before the complexity was like a village, I actually kind of tore it down and blew it up at some point. It was like this really tall spire in the middle of the ocean. And there was like an upstairs and a downstairs, and everything was really gray. And there was like jail cells in the second level because I was like still barring some characters in because I didn't know how to deal with them. So they were just like in prison while I figured it out. But so Tier was basically outside of the spire completely, just down in the ocean, just floating, and they're just completely alone, sobbing, having the worst time. And occasionally, I would go visit, and that's kind of me, dealing with my sadness, kind of being able to take a valid moment. So go down and just kind of hang out in the life raft and not say anything. Sometimes there's nothing to say. Sometimes when you're sad, you're just sad in a kind of unexplainable way. Um, so maybe you do a little, you know, little shoulder hug or something, kind of head on the shoulder. But one day, and I can't remember exactly why, I was, trying to grow, trying to integrate things, and a lot of characters have had really interesting growth moments. Ohm especially. Ohm used to just be the worst. He just used to be an awful, awful character. It's just mean. I mean, he was the first one, and when he was born, he was just the worst. And he's totally radically changed. But anyway, yeah, Ohm used to just like make fun of Tyr. It was the worst. Like Tyr was bullied. Um, yeah, literally just like the kid in school that you just bullied because they were weak and small. I didn't bully people for being weak and small, and I wasn't bullied too much. Depends on how you define bullying. Because I was either not bullied or bullied a lot, depending on your definition. But yeah, one day I just like, invented a hatch. I was kind of in the basement, and I threw a rope down out the hatch, went down, and I just scooped him up. I said, "You know what? You're coming up. You're gonna come up with the rest of us, and we're gonna work this out. I don't want you to be isolated anymore. I don't want you to be put away from everything else. I want you to matter. I want you to participate. I want you to be here. And I'm really like integrating this totally depressive character. And they finally start to hang around. They start to work with everyone else, and then they develop this bond with another character, Mercy. And Mercy, if we go to my YouTube shorts, Mercy is this terrifying creature that like howls and screams like Ridley. Yeah, they have a logo. I can pull it up. Yeah, if you know Ridley from like the Metroid series, from like Metroid Fusion sound, they develop this like total friendship, this total bond. There. Yeah, this is Tyr's logo. So you have this kind of like harsh teardrop shape because of that whole internalized depression, and then this like bottom part. I don't know why this feels kind of Assassin's Creed. What is the Assassin's Creed logo? And that bottom part is kind of representing, the sea, the ocean. So it's this teardrop that's always kind of falling into this infinite ocean, and it's just repeating and never ending. It's this cycle of just salt water into salt water into salt water. So that's them. Yeah, if you want to hit the print screen, or if you're on Windows or something, there's a shortcut, Shift Windows S, brings up like a screen snip thing, and you can just like click and drag a box. But yeah, so Mercy and Tyr just like suddenly bond. Mercy's this terrifying, horrifying creature that's just made of metal and sinewy muscle and has a mask that splits into like shards of, sharp and like porcelain, wood, metal. It's this complete amalgamation with like 6 spidery legs and this like cocoon husk that's tied to its chest, and it just crawls on all 6s, and it's like tentacles, and oh my god. And then we just have this cute, tiny little person. This just innocent small person. And and I'm not really like, I'm not narrating it. I wasn't sitting down and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I want these characters to be friends." I'm just kind of passively like witnessing the complexity happen. If you can think of, if you can imagine yourself like sitting in a park, and like characters walking around, you may not necessarily be like, oh, I want this character to walk over to the tree. But when you imagine a park, a character, a person might walk over to a tree, and that's this ambient thing. You might be witnessing this imagination. And the embodiment of rage and the embodiment of depression just like come together, and Tyr is not, you know, not attacked. Mercy can scream and shout and rage against the world, and Tyr will just lean on their just slicing metal arm, that's covered in blood, and it's this purest, just beautiful, gorgeous relationship. Um, and it hurts me in my soul in like the best way to think about. Yeah. And so Mercy will like protect Tyr like no matter what, like to the ends of the earth. If you mess with Tyr, you will get destroyed by Mercy. And if you try and put down Mercy, if you try to invalidate Mercy, Tyr will stand up for it and absolutely, put their foot down. Like, it's an amazing thing. You can take someone who's been bullied, and they can kind of like cope with it, and they can become like almost numb to it. But if they see someone else get bullied, then they might just come out of the woodworks and just defend them. And it's some of the best moments I've seen when that happens. And it's very much like that, very protective of each other. It's very cool. So yeah, I would say that's my answer. I think it's a very cool story and growth. Anyway, let's keep kicking. Let's keep moving. Where am I? So we just did Gamma. Got Felicity. All right, so we're coming up on it. So now we have Lambda. And that's easy. Lambda is actually like Lambda. Because when I was doing Alpha Core, I always liked the whole, like, this left symbol, this A without the middle A. And I was like, yeah, that's an A. Alpha, that's the letter A. And I kind of eventually internalized it and realized, no, it's like a capital L. I'm doing this whole like Latin thing. So I'm immersed in the Latin. And so the shape I was using was an L. So I was more like Laflacore, which felt kind of stupid and reductive. So, now I can get back to, gotta get back to work. Good luck to the remaining levels. Thanks. Thank you. Good luck. Enjoy your work. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for chatting. We have this nice, supportive relationship, so I appreciate that. Enjoy. Have a good time. Love how passionate you are talking about it. It's just so, it's my soul, man. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not like just art. It's this fully ascended internalization of me. If someone has, depending on what your frame of the world is, if you have this idea of a soul, the complexity is my soul. It is my personality. It is my being. Imagination is truly the most beautiful thing. I agree. When people say they don't have an imagination, I just want to grab them, and I'm like, this can't be true. Like, we can do more. We can make something. Don't put yourself down like that, because there's such a world out there that you can explore. Man, so good. So good. Save as Lambda. So this is an easy symbol. And then when I have the symbol for alpha, I'll just do the same logo, but with the cross through it. is this curving all of a sudden? Don't curve. It's weird. I kind of like sharpen these around these. I did see like an end cap thing. Yeah. Let's really tighten them up though. Oh no, they look weird having that. Never mind. Let's do the square. And lambda's kind of like, I equate them to the Ghost of Christmas Past, if you know, like the whole Ebenezer Scrooge storyline. Um, and they look like, kind of, again, when I was like Alpha Core, they look like the character design that I had for myself then. And they're kind of, it's the representation of all that had come before me. You know, it's respecting the history of myself, you know, all that had preceded me in this world. You know, so no matter, you know, how old I get, how much I move on in life, there's still there's still lambda, there's still what I have been. You know, think about, you know, how many days, how many bad days have you had? Just like boom, softball question, basketball, hole in one, whatever. How many bad days have you had? And then think about how many of those days have you forgotten? How many of your bad days, how many bad memories have eventually slipped your mind? You know, I'm not saying focus on them. I'm not saying internalize it all the time, because that's a great way to ruin your day and really get stuck on some traumas. But I still want to honor those things that have happened. I want to honor all the pain I might have went through, you know, in high school, even though I've moved on, even though it's been years. I still need to honor that part of my life. That's super important to me. And that's lambda. So I'm gonna save as, and we'll just get alpha knocked out of the way right now. I love reading random fish in chat. That's such an exciting. it's it's so it's such a beautiful thing I can add to my day. It's like I could have done this alone, you know? I decided to stream it. I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. 0.6. Yep, good enough. These logos aren't perfect, you know, I don't know if I'll always extrapolate them some way. But all right, next up is nuance. Nuance, yeah, I know what shape they're like. They're an ampersand, but backwards. If you don't know what an ampersand is the letter that can be used in like titles and stuff that represents the word and. So it's Shift 7 on the keyboard. Easily forgotten about. Need to remember that line about bad days. Yeah. Yeah. Don't carry them like a weight, but honor them. I've always taken the like word honor, you know, like to honor a moment, to honor something that's happened. I've always really taken that seriously in my life. Ampersand. And let's scroll and find a font we like. Make sure it actually has a fill on this one. Oh, why is there a gradient? There we go. Yep, that's the one. to kind of thin that out a little bit. Take it, drag it backwards. Boom. Nuance. Easy symbol. I don't know who invented the ampersand, but I love them. I give them a big old kiss. They did a great job. Place. And I think last but not least, we have theta, which is another Latin symbol. And theta is one of the most fun because theta is the worldly representation of a person visiting the complexity. So you as an outsider are a theta. You are the camera perspective for which you're watching the movie. So you are actually a character. So I have these ideas of like, oh, maybe I'll make like a video game out of the complexity or something. It'll be super cool. You know, you as a character would be playing theta because that's you. You are a theta. You are the theta. It's both and. Very exciting. Let's use the lowercase. I like the lowercase one. I think I can just copy and paste this. I feel like fonts actually recognize this. Yep, yeah, they do. Do they have one with like the separation in it though? Because the separation is cool. Yeah, yeah, there we go. I like the one that had these little twinges on it. Save as theta. All right, let's double check that we have all the logos. So there should be 21 here because Cal is excess. 21. 21. 20. Cal's retired. Time. Well, let's all just elect to forget about time. Time is negative. We'll just say is negative, and we don't go there. We just let that one go. There's a lot of negativity in the complexity. I'm not saying it's negatively disbarred, but I'm just talking like suicidal apathy, death, nothing. So there was absolutely no redeeming qualities about it. It had to be done. And like I don't kill these characters, you know? I just say retire, which sounds kind of Hitman movie-esque, but yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm getting kind of burnt out. Might make some food, but I did what I set out to do today. So I think I'm gonna wrap up. If there's any final thoughts, get them out of the way. Mind Magic, thank you so much for kind of hanging out today, kind of keeping me company. I really appreciate it. And it's a huge compliment, you know, when someone's kind of interested in this world that I've built, this whatever you really want to call it. So I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. It's great to have a fan of the universe, I guess. So again, send me, or maybe when I go back onto YouTube, I'll be able to click a link to you, so that I can get a reference of your stuff. I'd love to, you know, share and see what you got around. Post your stuff in the Discord, see what you got, like and subscribe and all that. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming. There will be more complexity soon. I hope. I hope to keep sharing, keep inviting the world in to my own danger. Should be a good time. And I will see you all sometime, eventually. Wit says hi. Wit loves saying hi. That's just Wit.